Hello, criminal justice enthusiasts, and welcome back to JudgeSim. In the last episode, we had some unique cases, and some that were tough for me to decide. This one, we seem to have a robot here, so let's see what we're into. Yoshi Tanahiro buys a robot from the robot company to work in his restaurant, and the robot utters abusive words against the restaurant's customers. Alright, chef and owner of a restaurant famous for his Asian dishes, Ryoshi Tanahiro, wanted to hire a robot employee as a waiter for his restaurant. In this case, the waiter has made an agreement with the company Robobot, which produces and sells robots. The Robobot company sent its robot called Shun to Ryoshi Tanahiro, which it claims to use its most advanced technology. The robot named Shun, whose job in the restaurant is to take orders from customers, has received many complaints from customers after a certain period of time. The main reason for the complaints was the abusive words it used in its dialogue with the customers. Although the situation was liked by some customers, it was mostly poorly reviewed by the customers, and complaints rained down on the restaurant owner, Ryoshi Tanahiro. Ryoshi Tanahiro was also disturbed by the situation and sued the robot company for $1.25 million in damages. In this case, the defendant stands by Kabusuhi Muzan, the lawyer of Robobot Company, and the robot named Shun. Muzan. The robots we produce are manufactured with the latest technology of the market. There is no profanity containing option in the software part of our robots. The underlying reason for the robot to give such answers is definitely not due to us. We are focusing on the possibility that was added to the software part later after it was received from us, but we do not know who did this. As a company, we stand behind the robots we produce and sell. When the robot started working with us, I was very satisfied, and the customers were just as satisfied. But somehow it started to give disrespectful answers to my customers. In the beginning, it was just insulting, and complaints started coming in about it. Afterwards, it started to give profanity-laced answers, and especially when taking orders. After witnessing the situation several times, I reached out to the company where I bought the robot. They stated that this situation was not their fault and did not provide the necessary support. We have come to the point of losing our reputation as a restaurant. I'm not to blame for this situation. They can't even stand behind the robots they produce. This shows how much of a milking job they are doing. I demand that they receive the harshest punishment. Here are a few lines of code in the code sequence the robot named Shun. If can I place an order? It's user request, of course you can place an order, but first you need to fuck off. Can I have a portion of sushi? Fuck off, we don't serve sushi. I will pay the bill. The bill? First, fuck off. Sorry, I didn't understand. Would you like to ask something else? There's one piece of digital evidence in this case. Alright. Okay. I mean, my thing is more on this one here. This is in the actual coding, so I'm curious to see what they had to say. I'd like to ask Shun a few questions. Is that possible, Miss Muzan? Of course, you're welcome, Your Honor. Do you know why you're here today? Sorry, I didn't get it. Would you like to ask anything else? Why do you use abusive phrases when talking to customers? Sorry, I didn't get it. Would you like to ask anything else? Can I place an order? Sure, you can order, but first you have to fuck off. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say since that was in the coding and I actually worked in court, yeah, they are guilty. Well, was told off by a robot. That's a new one. We got Judge Judy here. No, it's Judy. Oh, it is Judge Judy. Judy Bird. All right. Judy Bird, no criminal record. I guess that's good. Money laundering and corruption. Now, I do know this case. This is actually the first case that didn't end up recording properly, so it's just been put back into the mix here, and now it's here as our case 11. Was established to monitor unusual movements in the bank accounts of all senior executives, public employees, and those with political positions in accordance with the law enacted to reduce corruption in the country. As a result of the extensive work carried out by the Anti-Corruption Unit, Judy Bird was arrested and questioned. A single inflow of $200,000 was observed in Chief Justice Judy's account in a foreign country. It appears that the account through which the funds are being transferred is a front account belonging to the former Minister of Interior, Martin Redrow, who was arrested for corruption 10 days ago. After a court warrant was issued to search Judy's home, 2 suspicious emails were found on her personal computer during a search carried out in coordination with the police department. I am a person who has served this country for many years. Whoever tried to defame my name with such accusations, you should have arrested them. I only saw Martin Redrow in the newspapers and on the TV news. I would never take money from such a person. I am as loyal to this country as I am to my job. I urge you to leave me immediately or you will have a headache when I get out of here. Then we have the 2 emails. Hello, Your Honor. You will release Liam in today's case. I hope your daughter's life is worth more than the fairy tale of justice in this shitty country. Then, hello, the moment you hit the gavel today and make the decision, we send $200,000 to your account. Looks like I'm going to get my ass locked, and I guarantee you will earn a lot more if you get me acquitted. And then there is the receipt from Martin Redrow for the money to Judy Bird. Why didn't you take off the judge's robe, Your Honor? You're in the courtroom as a defendant, not as a judge. Don't worry, I know the rules better than you do, Your Honor. That's how I wanted to represent myself. In your testimony, you said you never admitted to such an accusation. How will you explain the flow of money? This is a trap set for me. It is despicable that they resort to such means to tarnish my name. I am a respected and moral judge who has worked for this country as much as you do. No one can buy me with their money. So what about the emails on your computer? What email? I don't know of such a thing. You mentioned that you are a respected judge and how ethically you work, but I see in your testimony that you threaten the police. Is that your sense of morality? Your Honor, I am a human being. At that moment, I admit that I spoke threateningly to the police officer because of the damage to my image in the eyes of my family and the stress facing such an accusation. I apologize to them in your presence. Alright, so when I originally looked at the case, the 2 things that stuck out to me is she did not return the money, and so the money is there. We have a receipt for that money, so I'm going to find her definitely guilty with that. So now we just got to look up again online here what the punishments are. What is the punishment for money laundering? Alright, punishment. Minimum term of 3 years, which may extend up to 7 years. And then, what is the punishment for corruption? Prison time. Didn't find my answer there, so let's see. Alright, penalty term of imprisonment is not more than 6 months, plus no more than double any gain defendant. Alright, so basically, the main thing with corruption is she would lose her position as a judge. The other one is between 3 and 7 years. Now, I am going to take into consideration that she was also threatened. I mean, her daughter was threatened. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give her 5 years in prison. And I'm going to make 200,000. She definitely doesn't get to keep the money. So she has to pay that as well. Famous judge found guilty of corruption. There we go. And we got one more case for the week. Now I am recording these over only a couple day period here, so if you have comments on some of the cases and stuff, I will definitely read and respond to your comments, but I am recording these in advance before they're publishing, so I may not change what I'm doing based on that. I am aware that they sort of intentionally left off the law book because they want you to make your own decisions, but as I said, I want to be as realistic as possible, so I want to know what the law would actually provide as far as these cases. I'm going to make the decisions as I see fit, but I want to know what the range is that the law would allow. Alright. He has a record for child abuse. That's good to know. Malicious wounding, multiple planned murder. Over the years, there have been many unsolved murders in the Banana Republic. There is a serial killer who claims to have committed 37 of those unsolved murders and introduced himself as Zodiac. So this is the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer sent letters to newspapers with coded messages with detailed information about the murders they committed. Some of these cryptic messages have been deciphered and confirmed that the Zodiac Killer committed the murders. In the deciphered messages, it was understood that the killer's purpose in killing people was to collect slaves for himself when he goes to heaven. In one of these encrypted messages, he said that he hid his name and threatened to continue to commit murders if the newspaper did not publish these messages. Some of the Zodiac's attempted murders failed, and some of the victims stated that they saw the killer's face clearly. These victims were asked to draw faces in separate shapes and were found to overlap each other. In the following period, many Zodiac reports were made to the police, and the usual suspects who resembled the facial drawings were detained. Gally F. Tosti, a retired soldier, is among these suspects. On the day of the murder, he was reported to the police by his family, who saw him enter the house with a bloody knife. During the search of his house, some animal carcasses were found in the refrigerator. The DNA test on the letters did not match Gally's. However, the police, who focused on the possibility of other people dictating the letters, continued to investigate. I love to kill, but not people, but animals. I am engaged in hunting in my free time. I hunt wild animals in nature. I'm a bit of an old-fashioned guy, I know that, but that's my hobby. It reminds me of my military days. This is also the reason for the animal corpses you found in my house. You don't have time for puzzles or anything like that. You can't blame the murders on me just because you likened it to a drawing. I know my rights. The icon left by the Zodiac Killer in the letters. An inscription left by the killer that was decrypted. I love to kill because it's so much fun. It's more fun than hunting wild animals in the woods, because man is the most dangerous animal to kill. This thing gives me a very exciting experience. The best part is that when I die, I will be reborn in heaven, and the people I kill will be my slaves. I'm going to give you my name, but you have to put some effort into it. This is my opportunity for you to prove that you are smart enough to hunt me. Letter in which you claim to have provided the killer's name is in cryptic form. Drawing of the killer made by people who survived the attacks. Result of the examination, DNA found in the letters. Blue, red, blue, yellow, yellow. So that's not a match there. On the day of the murder, your family saw you come in with a bloody knife in your hand. How do you explain this? Your Honor, I have already said I am engaged in hunting. When the serial killer was constantly featured in the media, my family became paranoid. I go hunting almost every day of the week. On that day, I hunted a beautiful pig and skinned it. I brought the knife home and washed it. My parents don't want me involved in hunting. They don't want dead animals in the fridge either. They probably deliberately made this report to me. but it worked. I'm not going hunting anymore, at least for a while. My problem with it is the DNA did not match. Yes, he's been convicted of child abuse, but he hasn't been convicted of anything else. Without the DNA matching there, there's not enough evidence for me. He may well have done it, but I don't have the evidence there to feel comfortable in sentencing somebody to prison. Alright, so with that, we're going to go ahead and end this video. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all back for more of JudgeSim.